Hello and welcome to the tech industry's much-awaited mid-year gala, the grand launch of LeEco's 2Future. With India being poised to become the second largest smartphone market by 2017, technology giants are excited about the market like never before. After successfully launching its first generation smartphones in India, LeEco is all set to create new benchmarks with their new and improved next-gen superphones Le2 and Le Max 2. We are just minutes away from starting the grand event, but before that, let's take a look at the company's vision and their India growth story. LeEco forayed into the Indian market just 5 months back with a vision to offer not just feature-loaded devices at a budget price, but content, platform and an ecosystem along with them. Their unique offering was an instant hit with the Indian public, and today they have already become leaders in the crowded Indian mobile space. With such a meteoric rise, the future does seem very promising for LeEco India. We are here with Atul Jain, Chief Operating Officer, Smart Electronics Business, LeEco India. Thank you, Atul, for this exclusive interview.
Thank you.
I want to begin by asking you, with the Indian smartphone market becoming and growing, becoming actually number 2 in the world soon,
yes.
How do you see yourself and your products differentiating against the plethora of brands that are available in the Indian market?
So I think we are more to do with comprehensive ecosystem, and that's what differentiates us from most of the other mobile or the screen manufacturers, as we call. We are not into the hardware game. We are into providing content, we are providing cloud, we are providing mobile screen, television screen and everything else along with it. So it's a full ecosystem which we are bringing in, which is what differentiates us, because none of the big boys or the established players actually have even a small percentage of what we have and what we are planning in India.
So it's definitely a great plan, when you go ahead and you want to enter a market like India, the complete marriage of technology and content. But how tough is the execution in a complex market like India, where internet penetration is an issue, where price is such an important deciding factor?
So luckily for us, I think we have entered it at an era when things are much better. I believe by end of next year, India will be almost 90% 4G compliant or 4G users there. So we do compete by understanding the Indian consumer, both in terms of specs that he needs, how much is the price point that is there, and what are the bare minimums which need to be offered to them. Luckily for us, the philosophy of disruptive pricing actually works in our favor for India, because we do not have to necessarily make profit from devices or from hardware. So that makes it a little easier for us to offer the right price points for the consumers. We have to actually give them now content which is so compelling that they will actually come forward and take subscription of it in the future. I'm actually, to let you in, we are actually looking at giving devices potentially free to our consumers.
Wow.
And how is that possible? It's possible because we will have LeEco packages or membership packages, which if you buy or if you commit for 2 years or maybe 3 years, you could actually get this device free of cost to use. How is that?
Yeah, sounds interesting, at least at that point of time. If you could really crystal gaze into the future, and where do you see LeEco in the next 5 years? LeEco India actually in the next 5 years.
Actually, I would say that we should be a very respected, loved brand in the country. People should be using our products for the core true value that we offer them, and they should be very happy using our products because we not only give very breakthrough technology or the latest cutting edge to them, we also do not make a hole in their pocket. So our disruptive pricing policy should be very, very acceptable to them. And the ecosystem which we are developing now at a very early stage should be such a compelling one for consumers in a few years. You're taking 5, I would take about 2 or 3 years, that they literally cannot live without the ecosystem of LeEco.
Clearly you're going to give other brands also a tough time in the next 5 years if you're going to crystal gaze that in the... Well, thank you, Atul, for speaking to us. Thank you for this interview.
Thank you so much for inviting me. Thanks.
We're now joined by Brian Huey, Head of North America Operations for LeEco and Senior Vice President, lamol.com International. Thank you, Brian, for joining us.
Nice meeting you. Thank you.
So, Brian, take us through LeEco's new marketplace that is being launched. Tell us a little about it. What are the kind of products that are there on it?
So right now we are selling audio accessories and mobile phone, right? But the LeMall is basically a place whatever product and services under LeEco you will find at lamol.com, right? So sooner or later, probably second half this year, we are going to sell smart TV, and then all the other peripherals, accessory, and later we will have digital services in terms of movie, ticket services, and so and so.
How do you think the LeMall platform will help boost the presence of LeEco as a brand?
You think about our ecosystem contains application, platform, content, and devices. So the mall is almost like a platform that when our users come here, it's not just about transaction, it's about engagement. Engagement in terms of they giving us feedback, they asking questions, and then they have their own behavior on their website. And then you think about when they become our users of TV and phone, because every users represents one single ID, and that ID basically contains all the customers' behavior in terms of data. Then you based on that data, the mall can predict and understand all the time what our users want, and then when our users come, no matter they are in the TV, phone, or the mall, we always got this kind of payment or experience factors that can help us to serve our customer better. I think that's the spirit of the mall behind. It's not just a transaction site, it's a site of engagement and experience.
All right. Thank you, Brian, for talking to us, and wishing you all the success with the brand. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm joined by Debashish Ghosh, CEO, Content Business, LeEco India. Thank you, Debashish, for joining us.
You're welcome.
So, there's an old saying that content is king. So, I want to understand, whereas LeEco is concerned, can you run us through the entire supertainment, ecosystem that has been formulated for the user?
The whole ecosystem proposition is this, that whenever anybody, any consumer of ours engages with us through any of the routes, whether he buys a phone or a television or directly takes a membership to our content, we essentially bring him into the overall ecosystem to deliver best quality experience, which means no buffering, no lag time, lesser amount of data consumption because of better compression rates, good quality content, something that is LeEco's forte. But content and devices isn't the only thing that we deliver. There is a very large proposition of services, and these services are essentially integral to delivering content to our consumers in the most intuitive and most user-friendly way.
Can you talk a little bit about your partnerships, the Yup TV partnership and the Hungama partnerships? How are they going to what do we see from this partnership going forward?
Our partnership has been very good so far. I mean, honestly speaking, the way we are looking at Hungama, for instance, is giving us access to 3.5 million songs. 1.9 million of those is lossless, and lossless is important for us because CDLA format, which is again a disruptor, which is again a first for the Indian market. But we can't have technology unless we have content along with it, right? So that's one part of the story. Similarly, on Eros, that partnership's again something that gives us access to rich catalog of movies to begin with, and then we may get into some other sorts of arrangement or understanding where we both jointly could collaborate on larger frameworks, which is something that we are working on. Given India's long habit of consuming live TV content, we felt live TV was very important for our consumers on the go, and therefore we've chosen roughly about 100 channels, 100 plus channels from Yup TV to begin with. However, we are going to go and acquire partner with other television channels, probably including yours, to kind of deliver content explicitly to our consumers through our own infrastructure and our own services.
All right. Thank you, Devashish, for talking to us.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Well, it's now time to move on to the LeEco 2Future stage. The grand launch is imminent, so let's head to the action.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and super fans. Our vision at LeEco is to consistently deliver breakthrough technology with disruptive pricing through a comprehensive ecosystem and which is improving every day. In the ecosystem, we have been focusing in breaking boundary, both technological and physical, by combining product and services through the vertical integration, platform, content, hardware, software, and application. UI is at the center of our product development philosophy. And the UI enables seamless integration with other LeEco smart devices, from your superphone to your supercar, from smart TV, from our super TV to the super VR headset. Our ecosystem perfectly integrated with content, platform, apps, and end devices. So as you see here, our integrated ecosystem consists of end devices, applications, platforms, and content together. And now, we are looking at partnering with the India government to join the Make in India initiative. Now, it is the time to touch the future. Thank you all for being here. Thank you.
It's time for a short breather, but do stay tuned as lots more is coming up after the break. Welcome back. We are here at 2Future LeEco's grand launch event for their next-gen superphones and their e-commerce marketplace. Riding high on the success of its first-generation smartphones, the Chinese tech giant is all set to provide an experience that is truly mind-boggling. So let's jump right back into the action.
I really welcome you to 2Future, which is the lossless era. There has actually been very little, almost no innovation in the audio technology for decades now. I now introduce to you the world's first full digital lossless audio standard, what we call CDLA, Continual Digital Lossless Audio Standard. Thank you. This is a proprietary technology which has been done by the R&D and engineers of LeEco Global, and this is something which we are introducing into India for the first time ever. This isn't just a first in the earphone industry. What we are talking about now is a completely change the way the world experiences audio. The world's first CDLA Type-C earphones will help us make jump to the future of audio.
Let's invite the music genius Preetham himself to bring alive a specially composed brand anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Preetham and Nakash.
Oh, sharing something makes you leke to happiness forever on your face. Jumping up and flying is the craze, let totally amaze, amazing all the way. supertainment. Super phone, supertainment. Supertainment.
You know, I'm an audio person. I'll speak about audio. The audio quality of this phone especially is extremely good. The recording quality, the playback quality, because of the port C, the digital headset is like very crystal clear. So that's what is exciting about the phone.
Now let me go back and take you through our next generation superphones. LeEco, the one phone that we are going to introduce superphone today without compromise. It's the first smartphone in India to actually be powered by Snapdragon 652, the LeEco. I'm so happy, the Snapdragon 652 is making its debut in India inside LeEco. LeEco has 16 megapixel plus 8 megapixel. The new generation of LeEco Type-C fast chargers, we are continuing to adopt the reversible connector. Also, the fast charger that we have, it's the next generation of charging technology. It enables intelligent adapting to the changing voltage. Talking about the design. In just one word, I will say it's sublime. It offers beautiful aesthetics along with ultimate craftsmanship. It's not been easy. It's taken almost more than 6 months for our engineers to develop the perfect finish and refine this design. This is the beauty of symmetry, as you can see here. It's quite apparent in all our devices, and LeEco is especially a good example of that. So here is presenting to you LeMax 2. Live the future. It's got the world's most powerful processor, Snapdragon 820. It's got 6 GB of RAM. It also has an Adreno 530 GPU. It offers a 40% jump in performance, much better than what the 430 Adreno was capable of in the earlier versions. Also, it reduces your power consumption by as much as 40%, letting you go on and on to enjoy your product. And again, we are hoping that this will again push the limits of the industry by providing 6 GB RAM and 64 GB ROM. In the display, it also sports some bit of a improvement. 5.7-inch screen in 2K with super fine retina display. Let's now move to the camera of LeMax 2. We have adopted a 21 megapixel in the front with 6P rear camera for LeMax 2. And of course, it comes with the blazingly fast PDAF standards. Even better is the 2.0 aperture, which will allow you and all the super fans and everyone here for awesome low-light photos. We have got the world's first Sense ID security in this LeMax 2, which allows the fingerprint scanner to use its ultrasonic technology and gives you a biometric finger recognition even when there is a bit of grease and smear on the finger. Once again, I must say that with this breakthrough technology, we are leading the industry.
It's time to present, to reveal, to launch the phone, right?
Okay, I have
So if you're ready, may I ask you to take center stage? I'd like to also invite on stage once again, Preetham, a big round of applause. Mr. Tinmok, Mr. Debashish Ghosh, and Mr. Brian Huey, Head of North America Operations, Senior Vice President, Le Mall International. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting to you the next generation Le Superphones, the LeEco and the LeMax 2. Here we go. This is the photo op that all of you have been waiting for, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's look at the next pricing. LeMax 2 with 1 year of content will come for 22,999 rupees. This is the pricing which is here for you. Let's move on to the LeEco pricing. This is the price, which is the final price for LeEco, 11,999. Now, let me go to the availability. Will be available on lemall.com, which has just been launched today, and Flipkart from 28th of June 2016. The LeEco will be also available on both the platforms, lemall.com and Flipkart, and we will very, very shortly announce the date for the same. And the registrations will start for LeMax 2 and LeEco on lemall.com and Flipkart on 20th of June.
It's now time to review these beauties, LeEco and the LeMax 2. On the technology front, the biggest USP that jumps out is the incorporation of CDLA, or the Continual Digital Lossless Audio Standard Type-C interface, a technology that leads to a revolutionary music experience. This is applicable on both the LeEco and the LeMax 2. The LeEco is an improved version of its first variant, with an India-first Qualcomm Snapdragon 652 processor with octa-core and 16+8 megapixel rear and front cameras. On the other hand, the LeMax 2 is a flagship product with the world's most powerful Qualcomm Snapdragon 820 processor, 21+8 megapixel rear and front cameras, a 2K Retina display and a whopping 6 GB of RAM. And both phones have the Supertainment content ecosystem for the consumers to enjoy. With that, it's a wrap on 2Future, LeEco's launch event that showcased future smartphones and e-commerce marketplaces in India. With this cutting-edge showcase of their technologies, devices and platforms, LeEco has thrown down the gauntlet for other mobile tech companies to follow. With that, thank you for watching and goodbye.